Welcome to Cradle and Chaos. This is our first episode where moms connect through the joys and challenges of parenthood. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Brittany.
And we're your newest mom besties.
Hi, Kels. How are you?
Hi.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We did it. We're here.
We did it. We're here. This is our first podcast recording. We're so excited. First of many.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming, but here we are. We're doing it. So we figured we'd start this first episode with a little intro from each of us. So I'm Brittany. I have a 2-year-old daughter named Amelia, but we call her Millie. She just turned 2.5 this month, actually. And, you know, it's been a fun and wild ride of becoming a mom, which is actually our first episode topic today, what no one told you about becoming a mom. And I have a whole slew of things, and I'm sure you do too.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
There you go.
So I'm Kelsey. I have 2 littles. Lainey is actually going to be 3
Oh my gosh.
in a couple of months, which is wild to me.
That's insane.
Because I'm fairly certain she was born literally yesterday. And I have an almost 10-month-old Chloe who will be 1 in June, which your second child, I swear to God, you turn around and they're a toddler. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Would you say that's something no one told you about becoming a mother? Is like how fast it goes.
I think that part was expected.
Yeah.
But and not to be completely cliche, but when they say the days are long but the years are short,
my
it's 100%
Yeah.
true. Every
For
time I
sure.
plan a birthday party, I get a little sad about it.
Well, but for the listeners, Kelsey starts planning birthday parties at least 6 to 8 months before the child's birthday.
That's a true story.
So, you know, maybe that has something to do with it, Kels.
You might be onto something.
But, you know,
As I literally opened an Amazon package for the end of May balloons yesterday. It's
oh my
fine.
gosh, that's okay. I love it.
Well,
I love it.
before-
Better to be prepared.
Yeah, that's true. Before we roll into our topic of the day, there's a little segment that we're going to start each episode out with. We have coined it, or I should say Brittany has coined it, tantrums and treats. So if you are a parent, I'm sure you can relate to what we're about to talk about. But each week we're going to talk about the best tantrum that we had for the week. And
Best/worst.
Yes. And the best treat, which sometimes doesn't happen quite as frequently.
We might not have one every week.
So, okay, how about I'll start with my tantrum and then you can
Okay.
go into yours and we'll kind of ping pong.
Perfect.
So, my tantrum of the week, Lainey's tantrum of the week,
Sure.
let me clarify.
Sure.
You never
That
know.
could be a whole nother podcast.
So, every morning we have a routine. I am such a type A routine person, and Lainey has turned into that person as well. So, every morning we wake up, we pick out our clothes, Lainey goes potty, because we have successfully potty trained, which is a topic for another day, but
yes, please.
she was getting dressed and she's been wanting to do things on her own. So I kind of walked away, got her dressed. She was doing her thing. And then I went to go finish getting ready. I hear a blood curdling scream.
Oh, no.
Like I thought she was hurt. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm going to walk into blood. That's just
Broken
what.
bones,
Yeah,
something.
something.
Yeah.
I'm calling an ambulance. Something's totally wrong. She walks in, has tears streaming down her face. She's holding onto her jeans that I put on her 5 minutes ago saying, my pants are broken.
Oh, no.
So what I failed to mention about said pants, they're distressed. So they had holes in the knees. This was not okay.
Oh my God.
And we have since tried to put them on her a couple of times, and every time it is an absolute, it's not going to happen. So I might have some pants to donate to Millie.
Oh, hey, we'll take them.
But it's just so funny to see
funny.
like those funny things.
Because she doesn't know.
No,
No.
they're broken.
They were, I mean, she's not wrong.
That's very true.
They were broken.
And
It's a trend she can't get behind, which, like, I get it.
I think a couple of days later, I had put on a pair of distressed pants, and she was like, "Mommy, your pants." Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna keep mine on.
Yeah. Like, I like the broken pants.
Yeah, it was
That's
a good one.
hilarious. I can't believe she, like, screamed like that. That's
It
so
was-
funny.
I thought her arm had become dislocated from her body. I was wrong.
You're wrong. Well, I'm glad you were wrong. I'm glad it was just that.
Same.
Okay, my tantrum of the week is not one specific moment, but a plethora of moments. So Millie has learned the word ow. And yeah, that's a fun one. So anytime she doesn't want to do something, ow! Anytime I'm changing her diaper, ow. Anytime I put clothes on her, which she hates these days.
no.
She hates getting out of clothes and she hates getting into clothes. So she really just hates everything. And so anytime like she doesn't want to be picked up to go into the car or something, ow, and just screams ow and ow and ow. So like my biggest fear as a mom, of course, is like, okay, can I even take her to like Target and be like, hey, we're going to go inside Target, and she doesn't want to. She just screams ow, and then everyone thinks I'm like torturing my child.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are you though?
No. Probably going to get her a cake pop. Let's be honest.
She's gonna get anything she wants in that store.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great time in Target.
That
but yeah,
is so funny.
No, it's just ow. So anytime I do anything that she doesn't want, it's ow. And I don't think she knows the meaning of when she's supposed to use
That
it.
is so funny. Lainey's what, 5 months older than Millie?
Yeah.
Something like that.
4 or
She's
5.
she's a little bit more verbal, and she started to say, "You're hurting me."
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
like, okay.
So that's my nightmare.
I put tights on her once, and as I was pulling them up, I accidentally pinched her. And
Yeah.
ever since then, she's like, "Don't pinch me." Okay.
You're like, yeah, I do it on purpose.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
What about
amazing.
treats?
Let's end on the positive note.
Yes.
Well, this is, I think something that we can talk about too is toddler manipulation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that can be a whole episode.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And once they understand what they can do to get away with things,
Yes.
it's game on.
Yeah.
In their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So one night, and this has been a bedtime thing. So Lainey's in a toddler bed. She's done great with it, but it's always the like last 5 minutes of bedtime. I need water. I need to go potty.
Oh, yeah.
I need 12 books. I need
Mine's about
103
bedtime,
stuffed
too.
animals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every time you try to leave, she's like, wait. She has a Hatch nightlight, and she suddenly needs a different color on her nightlight.
Have you seen the meme that's like nobody's busier than a toddler 5 minutes before bedtime?
Or the ones where they're looking at a picture of their child sleeping on the monitor, and you're like looking lovingly at your child like you didn't just have a year taken off your life at that time.
yeah, they're also accurate.
Yeah. Anyways, so this was a night that I was on my own. Adam was doing something. My husband, Adam. So I was on my own, which is fine. Like they're really good kids, so I typically don't need an extra hand. But it was just a day that I like. You could tell. Like you look in the mirror at the end of the day, and you're like, "Wow, I look like a ragged doll."
Yeah, I look how I feel.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
And I was getting them out of the bath, and Chloe had already gone down, and I was like, "Lainey, can you please just put your pajamas on? We're gonna read stories, and we're gonna go to bed." It was just like begging her.
Yep.
And she took my face in her hands, and said, "Mommy, you're so pretty."
Oh.
Was there anything else you needed or wanted? Because I'll give it all to you right now.
Oh my god, that's so sweet. She's
Yeah.
like, she like knew that you needed.
It's like she knew. Yeah. So that was a good one.
I really love that. Oh my god. So mine's around bedtime too, because, which like ironic that both of our treats are around bedtime because bedtime is a disaster in our household.
Wild.
Like she says her kids are good. They are. My kid, I don't know. I don't know that she falls under the good category. She's just psycho and becomes psycho before bedtime.
I feel like you
It's
go through
just-
trials. Like we have
Yeah.
times that are really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And then we make the mistake of commenting on how good it goes. And then
Yeah.
suddenly we're back to square one.
Yeah, tonight your bedtime's gonna go horrible and mine's gonna go great.
I will text you and tell you about it.
Yeah, can't wait. But she started saying, "I love you," and so I will say, "I love you," before she goes to bed, before I leave her room, and she says, "I love you," and it's just. It doesn't sound like much until it comes from
like
your
the first
child.
time and it happens though.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you just say?
I know. I'm like, you said it back. But of course, like her little voice, it's, I yeah, you know? So it's like even cuter. And you like, then I do the thing. Well, do you want me to lay with you for a little bit? Keep in mind, she's in a crib. And yes, I lay with her sometimes. Okay, don't come up.
We'll
don't
post a
come.
picture eventually of this.
Yeah, there's plenty of monitor footage. But yeah, don't come at me. But another thing that she does before bed that I watch on the monitor, we put 2 pillows at the top of the bed, or I guess you would, whatever, one side of the bed, and 2 pillows at the other side of the bed, just like the little toddler pillows, because she likes to swap sides in the middle of the night. She rearranges every single pillow to get them like where she wants them. So I'm like watching on the monitor, and she rearranges the 2 from one side over to the other side, and she kind of looks and like decides like, let's see. And she actually does go like, and puts her like little finger on her chin, and she goes,
maybe she's gonna be like a designer.
Interior design. Oh
Yeah.
my God. That would be great. I would love that.
She can start with my house.
But yeah, it's just like the cutest thing ever. Just like little things like that, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. Lainey will do that with her stuffed animals. They have to be in the exact right position,
Oh.
or she'll change her mind on, she's like, ugh, I need to sleep with Elmo tonight. Or
Yeah,
she's
big
in
decisions.
She's in a Tigger phase right now. She's a really big Tigger. She likes to sleep with him, but
I love that.
it's very selective on where they get to sleep in the bed.
Oh, for sure. All right.
Should we dive in?
Yes, let's dive in.
Okay.
So, our topic today is what no one told you about being a mom. So, I think I want to start mine off just with a very like overarching, I don't know, statement. I feel like nobody told you how much unconditional love you were going to have for this human being. Like, of course I knew I was going to love my child. Like,
Yeah.
there was no doubt in my mind about that, but like how like unconditionally I love her and like think about her and like the strong, like it's just like this like connection and just it's like a feeling. Like
Yeah.
you really can't explain it.
And it
like,
truly happens instantaneously.
instant. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing she can do would ever make me feel differently. Like even like the gross stuff she does now, like hands me her boogers when she picks them out of her nose. I'm like, yes, thank you, honey. This is the best thing I've ever received.
beautiful.
I'm gonna go frame this. No, not actually. I'm not gross. But like I don't enjoy changing poopy diapers, but
Yeah.
like I don't even mind
No.
because I just like freaking love everything about her.
It's funny because a tiny little background on me. I worked in the childcare industry for almost 10 years, so a like decade of my life.
crazy.
And other children will do things and it can just irk you to no end. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I am sure we'll have episodes about what our children do to irk us, but it's a different kind of bother.
Yeah.
Because then I'll instantly feel bad. I'm like, oh my God, it was so mean to her.
Yeah.
Like I said that. I like yelled at her and now she's going to hate me forever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're right.
Absolutely.
It is a different kind of love. I said something similar that I jotted down on my list. It's just the way your priorities change without a second thought.
Yes.
And it's funny to see kind of the separation that happens naturally in your life between those friends that you have that have kids and those that don't, because they don't get it.
Yeah.
And even if they do, they don't.
Yeah. Well, you can't explain it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, let's go to dinner at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night. That's not
Like,
a possibility.
no,
Like
can't.
5 is even pushing it.
Yeah. And like I find like that's why you and I connected so quickly because it was like we get it.
Yes.
You get it.
Yeah.
And that's like exactly what I needed in my life at that time was a friend who like got it.
Yeah.
And you're like
Especially at the time of life that we were in, we were both kind of like
what are we doing?
just like very new moms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we've kind of, I like to say we've evolved into our
Yes.
motherhood a bit, but especially having 2 now, it's a bit of a transition period and a learning curve that not anyone can really get you prepared for.
No.
But
Should I quickly tell them how we met?
yeah, do it.
So Kelsey and I worked on the same floor of a building.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to
Our
be
work-
inconspicuous with names.
Well,
but
our work was connected but not connected.
Yeah.
And so she was a familiar face. And I was dropping Millie off at daycare one morning and I swore I saw her in the parking lot dropping her daughter off. So then when we got to work, I was like, hey, did I see you at daycare this morning? And she said, yep. And then we talked about how old our kids were and discovered they are very, very
Yeah.
similar in age. And
they
both
ended up
girls.
being in the same classroom at one point.
Yes, being in the same classroom. So we just, and then I think we first bonded over baby clothes. Posh Peanut.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think that
all
was our
our bamboo. Again, that'll be a whole nother.
We have an obsession with bamboo
Yeah,
pajamas and clothing. So yes, but that's how we bonded.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Look at that.
2 years later.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm glad that you started with a positive thing because
yeah. Oh, there's plenty of negatives.
well, yeah, but I feel like, and it's been such a TikTok trend for moms to be like, oh, just wait until, and it's always like something negative about being a mom.
I
Like,
hate that.
and I think there's a lot more positives in it than there are negatives. It's definitely a transition and something that you need to be ready for.
Yeah.
And even if you're not, you'll get ready for it. Because
Can I just say,
some things are surprises.
it's such a pet peeve of me when people talk negatively about being parents, because like, do you know how many people try to become parents and can't? Like, I think a child
I was one of them.
Right. We'll get into that in another episode too. But like, a child is such a blessing.
Yeah.
And to just like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll get into it in another episode. But that's my 2 cents in case anyone was wondering.
I agree. But on the flip side, I think every single person on this planet struggles with anxiety in one place or another. But
Sure do.
when you become a parent, it just like, at least for me, it went through the roof. It was, and I think it comes in different stages. Like as a newborn, you're like, are they breathing in their crib right now? Are they drinking enough milk? Are they like, is this rash normal? Like, so many things, especially as a brand new first time parent. Those fears kind of fade a little bit as you do it again, because you kind of know what you're getting into. But then it goes from, oh my gosh, like what's happening at daycare, even though like they are in a place that I trust with my whole being. Yeah. And I know people there, and I'm lucky enough to be in that position, but it's still like, when they're at that toddler stage or that baby stage, they can't tell you what's going on. They can't. And you just hear horror stories about everything. Yeah. I don't know. I get worried about everything constantly.
I never feel like I'm truly relaxed, even when I'm relaxed. No. You know what I mean? Like there's the second that baby is born, it's just, you have a whole new set of worries.
I don't want to set a stigma either, but I don't think it's the same for dads as it is for moms. Yeah. And Adam and I have had this conversation a million times. I'm like, you don't worry about that. You don't think about this scenario because I create scenarios in my head, and then I figure out how I'm going to get out of said scenarios. Like,
we are the same human.
Like, so the house catches on fire. This is what we have to do. We have to like we had a couple tornadoes come through our area the last couple of weeks. And there was actually, my neighbor caught footage of it. Like it went behind our neighborhood, like not through it, but I woke Adam up and I made him get the girls out, and he's like moseying around trying to get dressed. I'm like, get your butt out of bed.
Serious.
And I took Lainey down to the basement. He just came down here with Chloe, and I was like, okay,
cool, go somewhere where there's more windows.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's totally different.
It's that connection.
For men and women.
It goes back to like the physical, like we just
they were in your body.
Literally, my bullet point though is mom guilt. How constantly worried and stressed I'd be. So I feel like I shouldn't have put those on the same bullet, but yes. So I have the constant stress. Well, I think mom guilt's a whole new thing.
It truly is, and I think I have tried really hard to grow out of mom guilt. I mean, it's never going to completely disappear, but I was, and I'll be the first one to say it, I can be a controlling mom, a controlling person in general. I just like, I know, and I think a lot of it comes from my childhood background too in the childcare industry, or like, I know how to handle this situation, and I've tried to. I always want to do the drop off. I always want to do the pickup. But then I'm like, I always do the drop off, and I always do the pickup, and I don't get any help.
I do the same thing.
But I'm like, but I still want to do those things, but also have time for myself, and those things just can't coexist.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So I've had to try to like step away and know that if I spend like 1 hour less with my child today, it's probably not going to have a negative impact on them. And I've been trying to go to the gym more and like just like do stuff like this, like hang out with my friends a little bit more. Yeah. Because Adam does those things, and like he plays golf, and I know your husband does too. And I've had that conversation with him before too, where I'm like, you don't like miss them during that time? And he's like, well, duh, of course I miss them, but like I don't feel bad about it. And I'm like, okay.
Because it's important to take time for yourself too. I do the exact same thing. Yep. I do the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can go to brunch with my friends because that's like 2 hours away from Millie. Yep. And then like Matt, my husband, is going to have to do nap time, and that's going to be hard. She likes me more at nighttime. At nap time. She doesn't really like when he does it.
I will like literally schedule things and be like, ooh, like I can't do it at that time because that's a really tough time.
Yeah.
Or like,
that's witching hour.
Adam wouldn't even think of it. He'd be like, okay, I have this thing to do. And I don't care either. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's fine. But like, I'm like, oh my God, there's no way.
Yeah. So I go to yoga on Wednesday nights, and that's like like honestly Matt forces it on me. Like some nights I'm like, I don't know, because it starts at 7:30, so I have to leave at 7, which is right before bedtime.
Yeah.
And so I have to like, you know, not be around for that. And for him to tell me to go and do it is like such a like saint of him, especially because of how hard bedtime is for us. But like I like so much appreciate that he like makes me go and do that, because I don't think I would do it on my own.
Yeah. No, Adam's the same way. He'll be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I promise it's going to be okay.
And you have too. And he's like, I can do both. I'm good.
It took a little while to get there, but yeah.
Yeah. It's harder too, because you worked in the childcare industry forever, and like I think you and I both like knew we wanted to be moms from a very young age.
100%.
Like it's all I've ever wanted in life.
Yeah.
And like for guys, it's different. Like they don't think about like, I'm gonna name my kid this. I'm gonna have 3 boys and 2 girls. And
Adam,
I'm gonna...
he actually told me he never even like pictured himself getting married, and I'm like,
oh, married
entered me
until I met you.
Changed your whole life. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Matt ever thought about kids. Like he knew he wanted them, but he didn't really know much about them, you know?
Yeah. No, Adam didn't know anything about them. I had to teach him how to do everything.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me feel good.
So diaper until we were in the hospital with Millie.
Oh, yeah. That was probably the first time for Adam too, now that I think about it. Because there's Lainey was the first child on both sides of our family. So,
yeah.
Well,
I think going back to mom guilt, another thing is like taking trips. Like you just recently took a trip for yourself to go to your friend's bachelorette party, right? Mm-hmm. And then I recently just took a trip with my best friend, and like I don't know about
terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know about you. Well, you're kind of scared of flying to begin with,
that
so
too.
there's that.
There's a whole nother issue there.
I told Matt when I got back, I'm like, you know what, like it was like Friday to a Sunday, so it was like literally nothing, like, no time at all. And I'm like, that is like the longest I can be away from her. Like we sound so like sappy. Like
granted,
we are obsessed with our kids. I'm not even sorry about it.
4 times a day too.
Yeah.
Like, just don't forget what I look like.
Yeah. Send me pictures. Oh, I can't FaceTime Millie because she cries and like she starts looking around the house for me. Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't really get the concept.
She doesn't get it. Yeah.
Something else that I wanted to bring up too is just, I mean, you mentioned this at the beginning, but like I cannot stress enough the love that you have for this tiny human. And I think it grows in different ways as they get older. And like for me with Lainey, every new face has been my new favorite.
Yeah.
Like I can have a full-blown conversation with her.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just like trying to figure out what her little babbling meant. I mean, obviously I knew what she was trying to say, but and it's funny because speaking of like toddler talk, Adam would be like, Kelsey, can you tell me what she's trying to say?
That's what Matt does.
Yeah.
I'm like, she wants goldfish.
He would literally call me and be like, listen, what's she saying? That's so funny.
So funny.
Which goes back to the mom guilt. Like, if I was there,
yeah,
like I would know that she wanted goldfish.
Oh my gosh, I do the same thing. I'm like her little interpreter.
Yeah. Exactly.
So funny. That's so funny. I never really thought about that. My next 2 are like kind of negative. The never ending to
You're gonna end us on a negative.
We'll pick it back up. We'll pick it. I'll find something. We'll go back to love again. No. The never ending to-do list. It's like there's just always going to be something, and you're never going to get to it all. And I think like something nobody really ever prepared me for is like being okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still not okay with that because I am. We've covered that I am very type A. Like it got to the point where, and this is going to sound very similar to when I said I need to do drop off and pick up, but like also I need help with drop off and pick up. Yeah. It's the same thing when it comes to the house and like keeping the house clean. And like, I need your help here. Yeah. But also you don't do it right.
Yep. So let me do it.
So we actually downloaded an app that we now use where like you can load tasks in there and then you can each like work off of it.
Oh my gosh.
And then it tells you.
Matt, please don't listen to this.
True. It's my dream come true.
It's not my dream come true because I am Adam. Or I don't know. I'm the person that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt,
just disregard that.
Oh, so, yeah, Matt, don't listen. What's the app called? No, we didn't know.
We didn't talk about it. So it's fine. Yeah, okay. It doesn't exist. I made it up.
Yeah, it's a
startup. You don't even want to
go. Because he's like, the house is immaculate because of him. And if it were
I
not for
mean,
him,
we're sitting in my kitchen right now, and my house is definitely not immaculate. I wiped this table off for you before you came
oh
over.
my God, you
Just
do
for you.
care. But I mean, there's things that like the laundry's gonna have to wait because there's physically not enough hours in the day, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay down on the couch instead of folding it tonight.
I have learned, the laundry doesn't leave the laundry room unless it's ready to be folded. It just lives in the dryer. I can't,
Oh, yeah.
I can't put something in a hamper because it will actually cause me severe stress.
Do you do like warm up, air
Like,
fluff?
what's it called? Mine has a wrinkle control.
Yep.
So it'll just, yeah.
Yep.
And
Mine's
then
in the
it
washer
doesn't
right now,
work
actually.
by any means when it's my
No.
clothes. But I don't really care about the girls' clothes because they'll just ruin them anyway.
They're like this big.
I used to have a day dedicated to laundry, and I quickly learned that that's not going to work.
Yep.
So now I will throw a load in before bed,
Yeah.
and I'll switch it in the morning. And then whenever I get to it to fold it, I fold it.
Good for you.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you reset your expectations
Yeah, I mean,
to what's realistic.
sure, we'll go with that.
You might not have known you did that, but you did.
The amount of laundry that comes just from having one other human,
That-
nonetheless two,
Could be an episode.
is
Like,
yeah.
why is there always so much laundry?
It's just
I can't even
constantly.
imagine with two. Like,
Yeah.
we are doing laundry every single day.
Yeah. Well, you go from not needing diapers to the other one to now they have 300 pairs of underwear they go through in a day.
Oof. Yeah.
So buckle up.
Ugh. And then this one I have been working on actively is being okay with their crying or like their temper tantrum. Like if she's crying at bedtime and wants me, she's fine. She's fed, she's clean, she's safe, she's warm. Like she's
I actually
fine.
cannot believe you're saying this right now.
I know, because I'm laying in the crib with her until she falls asleep sometimes. Wait, who said that?
It's funny because and again, this comes from me taking care of a million kids at once
Yeah.
together where like you can't possibly do that.
Yeah,
And also seeing the effects on when, and I'm not saying when your child cries, you shouldn't pick them up. Like that's crazy.
No.
That's crazy. But also just like setting a boundary of when you will and sticking
Yeah.
with it. Because I sleep trained both of my kids and it's been the best thing I've ever done in my entire life.
yeah, I'm gonna need pointers on that eventually.
I feel like it's mostly at the baby stage when
Setting it
I needed it. At the
young.
toddler stage,
Yeah.
then they make their own rules. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you do.
Oh, for sure. And I think, like, of course, I'm not saying, like, leave your newborn crying. Like, clearly that's the way your newborn's communicating that they need something. But, like, I don't know, if Millie is throwing a tantrum because she wants a lollipop and I'm not giving her a lollipop, like, I'm going to walk in the other room and know that she's fine.
Yeah.
She's just crying.
Yep.
And, like, I have to be okay with her discomfort every once in a while.
Yeah.
As long as she's safe.
That has been I'll call it a tizzy that Adam and I have gotten into a couple times where like Lainey's throwing a fit because she wants something and then he gives it to her. I'm like, listen,
Oh, that's me.
listen.
I am Adam again.
You are rewarding her tantrum right now.
Yeah.
And so she's going to continue to throw tantrums.
You're Matt and I am Adam. Because he says the same thing.
And it's a really hard thing to, because you know you're going to get that instant relief if you just give
yeah.
in. But then also I'm like,
Teaching terrible habits.
I am way too, like I can just see it now. Lainey and I are going to like butt heads in the future. Not that we don't already do, but
Yeah.
because we're both so stubborn. Like,
Yeah.
no, like you're going to listen to me. And she's like, you're
gonna listen
hilarious.
to me. Yeah, like I'm actually the boss.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know,
So
which they are. They are little bosses.
there's something special.
Yeah.
I saw a t-shirt that I need to make for Lainey. It said, I'm not bossy. I have leadership skills.
Nope. I love that. I recently saw a kid with a t-shirt that said creative director.
I love
and I need
it.
to make
Yes.
that for Millie.
100%.
Since I'm a graphic designer
with your
and she is
background.
my creative director.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
Or the,
And she reorganizes her pillows. So like she kind of is already a designer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clearly.
All right. Well, we wanted to keep the first episode kind of short and sweet. But we hope you enjoyed. And we can't wait for next week, which is
We'll give you a little teaser. Next week, we are going to talk about teething, tips and tricks, and just the wondrous world of teething in general.
let me just dust off that old memory bank for that one. It's been a minute since we've been teething.
Oh
Or
my
since,
gosh,
like-
Lainey's still teething. She still doesn't have all her teeth.
Wait, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Okay. This will be a good topic.
So we're going to do it.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Well, remember, toddlers are not the bosses. You are the boss. All right.